Hello and welcome to the Non-Perfect Parents Club podcast. This weekend in the UK is Mother's Day, so I thought I would talk a little bit about that. Now, going back quite a few years, I was very much caught up in the whole Mother's Day thing of, I needed gifts to acknowledge that I was appreciated by my husband and my children. If there wasn't much thought put into the gifts, I felt disappointed, I felt like I wasn't valued, all that kind of thoughts, those kind of thoughts and feelings around that. And going back a few years ago now, if you're a long time follower of the Non-Perfect Parents Club, you will probably already know this story. I wrote a post on my social media talking about how I'd basically had a really shit Mother's Day. I'd got some crap gifts off my husband that were obviously off the children, but he'd kind of got them, and it just made me feel really shit because of all the effort that I put into being a mum and keeping the house, all the kind of the mental load that we carry as mums, and it made me feel like he didn't care, that he wasn't really that bothered. So I wrote a post about that, and I got quite a lot of shit for it, mainly from people that we knew, that of course knew my husband, saying how ungrateful I was, it doesn't matter what they buy, it's the thought that counts, all that kind of, which is also quite toxic, that kind of stuff. Apart from one person who commented, and she completely reframed my thoughts around motherhood, and she said that she just goes and buys herself something now. She doesn't wait for her husband and the kids to get something. She just goes and buys what she wants. At least then she gets something she wants. And that has shaped every Mother's Day for me since then, because at one time I would have thought, well, no, because it's not up to me to get myself something for Mother's Day. They should appreciate me. They should get me something that I want, that makes me feel good. But in actual fact, we don't, as mothers, need to wait for anybody else to acknowledge us, to tell us we're doing a good job, to be proud of us. We don't need to be told all that stuff. All we need to do is appreciate ourselves, acknowledge ourselves, know that we're doing a good job, know that we're trying our best. If we're doing something that feels not quite right, we don't like it, feels a bit icky, and we look back and we think, oh, I shouldn't have done that. We don't need to wait for anyone else to pull us up on that or tell us. We just need to change it ourselves. So often we're waiting for approval and permission, and we don't need it. The only person that we need that off is ourselves. And the other thing that I wanted to say was, amongst all those horrible comments that still stick with me today, every Mother's Day, every year, it reminds me of that post and the comments that people wrote. I can still remember a lot of the comments. It still burns. All I needed in that moment was this one comment that was kinder, and it wasn't an opinion, it was just, this is what I do. And that completely reframed my whole experience. That was all I needed. So just another reminder that you don't always need to be the voice that kind of puts someone down. All we need sometimes is just a kind voice that can help us flip that switch and completely reframe our experience and our thoughts. So this weekend, if you're in the UK, or basically every day, this isn't just about Mother's Day, but it's at the forefront on Mother's Day. It's the whole commercialism kind of side of Mother's Day. Oh, we must celebrate the mothers and buy them these flowers and blah blah blah. Don't get caught up in the gifts and what what you should be getting. Like, so often everyone's like, oh, have you had a nice Mother's Day? What did you get? It's not about that. We need to stop asking that. We need to stop asking people that. We need to be seeing ourselves every day. We need to be acknowledging ourselves every day. We need to be giving ourselves permission to just be who we are every day. And we also need to remember that we don't need permission to go and buy ourselves things we want. If you've, obviously it kind of depends on your financial situation. That doesn't get lost on me at all. But if you're in a position where there is something that you want and you can afford it, then go and buy it yourself. Don't wait for permission to buy it. Don't wait for someone else to buy it for your birthday, for Christmas, for Mother's Day. Just go and acknowledge yourself, treat yourself, make yourself feel good. Because if you feel good, then that will show, and your children will see that, your friends and family will see that. So yeah, just a reminder. And I just want to leave you with a quote. Let me try and remember this. Children are happiest when mothers feel less stressed and guilty. It's not about the time you spend with them, it's about the quality of the time you spend with them. So if you're gonna feel or think anything on this Mother's Day, forget the materialistic side of things and remember what's most important is how you feel and how you can give your children the best childhood by being the best that you can be. So, stop putting yourself to the bottom of the pile. That's what I want to tell you this Mother's Day. If you follow me, you'll know sometimes it takes me a while to get to the thing that I'm trying to say, but that's what I'm trying to say. On this weekend, I want you to remember and then carry that with you for the rest of the year, every day, for the rest of your while your children are small. It's not about you putting yourself to the bottom of the pile and feeling stressed and then feeling guilty and doing all that stuff. It's about the quality of the time that you spend with the children. So drop all the stress. I know that's easy to say, it's harder to do, but start making little changes now. Forget waiting for someone to acknowledge you and everything that you're doing. Acknowledge that yourself, celebrate yourself. Go and do something, even if it's just going for a 10-minute walk on your own to get that clear head, and then you can come back and you can be less stressed. And I'm sure you will all know what I'm talking about. So that's what I want to share with you this weekend for Mother's Day. That's what I would like. That's my gift to you all for Mother's Day, is that little piece of advice. I hope that is valuable, and I hope some of what I've said reframes your experience of this Mother's Day, if you need it to, like that mum did for me going back a few years.